Hey everybody, Eric here from the MMG, the Mature Minded Gamers, always looking to add you to our ranks. Join our Discord, there's a link in the video description. Today I got an exclusive preview of Anno 117 Pax Romana. This is the second preview version I got of it. The first one was about 3, 4, 5 months ago, somewhere in that time frame. The video's up on our channel still. If you missed it, go back and watch it because they unlocked the new starting Providence, and the game was a lot different starting in the second Providence, which I found really cool. And first thing I want to mention is the game footage that you're seeing here, it's still a work in progress, not going to represent the final experience that you'll have. The other thing I want to mention is both times I played this preview, it just ran really well. I haven't really encountered many bugs. Very impressed with how good of a build it is, how solid the gameplay feels, and now how different it plays between the first time when I played the Latin group and then the second time when I played the other group. It just it's a whole different experience, and really enjoyed my time with the game. Now I'm going to break it down and show you some of the gameplay that I got in my recording, what I thought of it, and what I hope to see. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is some awesome news. There's going to be a public demo available for everyone starting September the 2nd. Hell yeah, so get ready for that. Alright, let's get into some of this gameplay, and I'll show you what we experienced in our preview look.
Ways with bardic halls and mysterious deities. The land may be unfamiliar, of some the people unyielding, but the legacy you built here could echo through the Empire. So welcome to Albion. Your story begins here.
Now, like my first start with the Latinum Providence, when we start here in the Albion Providence, it's very similar, right? You're going to start out in the water as your port, because that's essential to this game, like it was back then, being able to use the sea to transport goods, you know, all that stuff. But after that, it changes drastically. After you put down the sawmill, your wood cutter, the basic stuff, right? Every game starts that way. You got to have wood to start building things. That's the way this game starts out. But after that, we hit a whole new resource. Let me show that to you next. Alright, so you'll see we get these unlocked pretty early on. They're new foods, and they're something I've never seen in the first playthrough, so this is something new. I think it's based off of the region that you picked, right? You know, we had the two options. And so I was excited to get to check these out here. So first down, we put down the one here that goes into the water, the cockles. We're going to do it, and then we're going to move over and do the ills next. I thought they both worked really well. I really like how the ill needs reeds, so that's a resource in the game, and you need to have that, and then you're actually going to get stuff later on that uses it too. And so I was actually struggling with trying to space things out properly in the swamp because I only had so much swamp near me. And so I found that really cool. Like, you have to build things, and you get to change the field size. You get to make it, like, you got to hit a certain level, but you get to choose what around it counts as field size, which is kind of nice because it lets you kind of, you know, customize things a little bit. And another thing I liked is when I went to move the whole structure, the field moved with it. So you can do that. You don't have to like completely replace everything. I love that when a game kind of makes things a little bit easier for you. Alright, and in the first playthrough, we encountered these little quests that pop up. It's still here. I did like this one because it gave me some good choices. And, you know, you want to read through it, decide what you want to do, seize his goods, buy his supply, wish him well. You get your choice of how you want to handle the situation. And, you know, it can benefit you, it can cost you a little bit to make your citizens happy, whatever you want to go with. But I like these choices. It's a part that I highlighted in the first game just because I like that it adds a little bit of extra variety. And some of these, you know, obviously can be really positive. Some of them can be really more negative. So it adds a little bit of variety to the playthrough.
Glad such dilemmas don't fall upon me.
Alright, a lesson I've learned in both of my sessions with this game, because I'm hurrying, right? I only have a certain amount of time to preview these. I'm trying to build quickly, trying to advance, but I have not been able to handle the economy very well. I'm constantly just draining money. And the one mistake I made in this playthrough, and I probably did in the first one, I don't remember, is I didn't put enough lumber mills and sawmills down. And so I ran out of wood relatively quickly. You do want to keep up with that. You're going to use a ton of wood in this game. And so I would put down at least 2, maybe 3. I think I had 3 before I was done with my playthrough. But again, I could never get the curve of the money fixed. I was talking a little bit about some people with some people that I was testing with, and I got some recommendations. I need to put more houses down. I need to get my populace to grow. That way, I get more taxes from the citizens and stuff. So that's going to be the approach I take if I get my hands on it again before the demo. Hopefully, if not, I'm definitely going to play with it on the demo itself. But the other thing I missed is the whole ship portion. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So I covered this a lot more in my first playthrough because I did a lot more with it. This playthrough, I kind of didn't mess with it until the very end when I was trying to curve my economy. But the whole ship thing, you start out with this, your main trading ship. You start out with at least, well, I think in both games I have, you start out with at least one potential trading partner, and you can load goods onto it and then send your ship there to trade to get you some money. I should have probably done that right from the very start, but I didn't. As I said, I was focusing on other things. But it is one of the cool aspects I like of this game. And then there's actually, like, if you watch my first playthrough, I did a lot. There's like quests. They can give you quests. They want a certain amount of resources. Well, that's another aspect of the game that I thought was pretty cool. Just the fact that there is other towns and other ports that you interact with, trade goods. They get different prices. So you may want to ship certain goods to certain ports, and you have to explore to actually find all of them too. Like, I only have one to start with. I think I found 3 or 4 in my first playthrough. And that's probably randomized to a certain degree. Maybe on the map it's set. I'm not quite sure on that. I'm not sure how much is randomly generated. It could all be set static. Not sure, but obviously that's something that could easily change eventually, and I like that aspect of the game because I really like a game that's different every time you play it, and this game I think is going to be that way, at least in the city building, obviously, your resources, where they're at, and all that stuff. So, alright, that wraps up our preview of Anno 117 Pax Romana. Don't forget, release is actually coming November the 13th, 2025, and the demo coming September the 2nd, so a couple months ahead of time. I'm very excited. Hopefully you're excited. I can't wait to play some more of this and unveil what is more to come. Thanks for watching, and a shout out to Ubisoft for allowing me to join the preview. Have yourself a great day.